Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Noah, and in this video I am going to show you the technique that we as consumers can use to completely cancel ads for the future. I understand that that's a pretty bold statement, but if you give me a little bit of time, I think you might be convinced. With all of that being said, let's get into my thoughts on how we can cancel ads. So before I pull up Excel, as I usually do for these kind of examples, I want to share a little bit of background on basically what ads are. If you don't know what they are, you should, because we see just about 4,000 ads every single day that we live, basically, here in the United States at least. And these are ways for companies to promote their products to drive sales, right? So generally speaking, more ads equals more money is the general consensus, and that is why we have seen such a climb in where we're seeing ads in recent years, right? All of these websites have ads, YouTube has ads. Streaming services have ads. Ads are literally all over. It's only a matter of time before there's going to be ads running at urinals in bathrooms when you're sitting down and stuff like that. Okay, so here we are in Excel as always, and what do I have here? So the table or the rows that I've created right here is essentially a simplified, it's a rudimentary version of what companies are seeing when you interact with their ads, when you actually watch or don't watch their ads. So behind the scenes, behind the web page, behind all of that, there's a lot of tables, right? Databases that companies use in order to make educated decisions on basically how to make more money, right? How to make experiences better, and so on. But generally speaking, it's how do we increase profits for the service that we are selling or products. So in this specific example, I am going to show you kind of what a simplified version of what YouTube is going to be looking at when we are watching their videos. And it's only so fitting because you're probably watching my video on YouTube here as well. But like I said, this is very simplified. This isn't how tables are set up for YouTube, but this is basically what similar to what things might look like. So the date today, 5/22, this is the current date. And these data that we're going to look at are going to represent my account, my channel, my account's history when watching videos. So as you guys know, when you click on videos, if they're monetized, you might see one ad in the beginning, you might see two ads in the beginning, you might see an ad in the beginning of the video, one in the middle, one at the end. You might see ads throughout the entire video. It just depends on on the video, on the channel, and so on. And those are represented right here, right? So ad 1, ad 2, ad 3, all the way to ad 6. And generally speaking, what's happening right now, and the reason that we have ads as so influxed that in the form that we see right now, is that these next columns right here generally tend to be true. So the first column is watched the full ad. So for the first ad right here, did we watch the entire ad? Yes, right? The next column is clicked on the ad. So we interacted with the ad, right? We were watching it, and then at some point we clicked on it, which usually takes us to a link, right? Takes us to their website, whatever it is, to purchase the product. And this is yes as well. So if we go through all 6 ads, hypothetically, maybe this is 6 videos worth of data. Ad 1, we watched the video, or we watched the ad, pardon me, and we clicked on the ad as well. Yes. Ad 2, we watched the ad, yes, but maybe we didn't click on the ad, right? So we watched it all the way through, but we didn't interact with it. The same thing goes for ad 3, right? Where we watched it, but we didn't interact with it. For ad 4, we watched it and we interacted with it as well. And then ad 5 and 6, we watched both, but we interacted with just one of them. So this is, I think, what is kind of going on, generally speaking, right now. Despite what your personal habits might be, I think a lot of individuals are not only watching these ads, but they're also interacting with them, right? They're going to these companies' websites to see, what's available, what they're selling, what their service is about, and so on. And this intuitively makes a lot of sense, right? If people weren't watching and interacting with ads, then it's likely that companies wouldn't put millions of dollars towards ad marketing every single quarter or every single month, whatever it is, if it wasn't working, right? So clearly, this is likely the case. It might even be on the general populace. They might be interacting with even more of the ads. I'm not entirely sure, right? I don't have access to this data, nor would YouTube really provide it unless you're an employee there. But this is, I think, what is driving the influx of ads that we are seeing in bleeding through all of our online entertainment, all of our online resources, right? Like I said, streaming, YouTube ads have been huge on YouTube for quite some time now. There's Google ads, there's Twitch ads. I mean, they're all over, right? And that's just what we see at our computer and on our phone and so on. So the point in this video is what needs to happen in order for this tide to change. And the reason that I am making this video in the first place is that I am absolutely sick of being forced basically to watch ads all day, pretty much every single day. Like I said, I did do a little bit of research, and I mean, the research is a Google search, but we can do it right here where we will go in and we'll say, how many ads? I already looked at it, right? I can't spell. How many ads do we see a day? According to USC, University of South California, maybe. I'm not really sure. Roughly 5,000 ads per day, around 4,000 to 10,000 ads each day. This was 500 back in the 70s, and now it's 5,000 per day, right? So doing just a little bit of research indicates that obviously ads are prevalent, and we keep hearing news about different large streaming services. So Amazon Prime, Hulu, Netflix, Peacock, Roku, all of these streaming services are now incorporating ads into their movies, into their TV shows, despite the fact that you are already paying to be a part of this ecosystem, to be a part of their ecosystem. So now the premium that you were paying, let's say it's $10 a month, for example, is now the low tier, right? So now if you have that $10 per month membership, you will need to be exposed to ads. If you don't want ads, you got to go to the $17.99 membership, right? So this is kind of the toss-up that is being forced upon consumers, and I don't agree with it. I think it's just irritating. I know what the point in ads are, but it takes away from the experience, and it just becomes kind of a money grabbing opportunity for these already absolutely huge companies, right, that can make money elsewhere, right? Netflix, for example, if you guys want to make more money, just make better content, right? You don't need to monetize by putting ads on anywhere in your application. Just make better content and you're going to get subscribers. It doesn't seem that difficult to me, but that's not how it's working, right? The ads are taking over. So the solution that I have in order to reverse this process, to go back in time, back to the 1970s when we were only seeing 500 ads a day, is going to be exposed right here. So this solution is going to be exposed in 3, 2, 1, boom. Right? Did you see what happened? Did you see what just got exposed? I have a new column. Now, this column that the back end, right, of these applications such as YouTube can also see is whether or not the users skipped through their ad, whether they paid attention to it or not. This is an indicator of how interactive these ads are. And this is basically skipped ads. So in the beginning, obviously, we weren't able to skip ads. We were interacting with them. We were watching the full ad. But my suggestion or my push to everybody to get away from this ad war essentially is for the following ads after these first 6, starting with ad 7, to not watch the full ad, to not click on it, and to skip it whenever possible. And of course, this can't happen just one time, right? This needs to be a continuing process, right? Look how many I added to underscore my point. All of your ads, for the foreseeable future you need to have these kind of habits. And then, and only then, will, companies start to veer away from using advertising in its current form. Is there a time and a place for advertising? Absolutely, right? I completely think that's the case, but we've gotten to the point where so many people are actually watching them, actually interacting with them, pardon me, and purchasing, following their trip to the company's website from the ad, that it is becoming just commonplace. Every company is trying to put ads in every location, right? I'm getting sick of it, and I probably think a lot of you are too. But this is a sacrifice that we need to do as consumers in order to change the tide of how these companies market to us, right? We want to challenge them to try to market in different ways. The ads in its current form, basically throwing them at our face whenever possible in the corner of the screen in front of us, right? Or making us pay more to get away from them, which I don't think is that right either. It is just not something that I want to continue doing. So the only way to tell these companies that we don't care for their ads, so try to find a different way to make money, is by adapting this habit, right? Don't watch the full ad, don't interact with it, and do skip whenever you can. So there you go. That is my very high intellect strategy for how I intend on basically telling these companies that their ads aren't going to work on me, right? Their marketing needs to be a little bit more creative. I'm not going to cave and start interacting with these ads and purchasing their products through these ads, because ultimately that is what has contributed to what we see today. Like I said, ads on everything, ads all over online, ads, when you go to sleep, you're going to have to watch an ad before you can fall asleep. I mean, it's getting a little too outrageous for my liking. But of course, I want to hear from you. What do you think are some good ways that we as consumers can basically tell these companies that we don't want to view their ads anymore? We want to step away from this inundation of ads all over in our life and go back to a more modest daily ad consumption of about 500 like it was back in the 1970s. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I would love to hear your thoughts. And as always, if you've stuck along this far in the video, I want to thank you so much for your time. I greatly appreciate it. As always, I hope you were able to take something away from this video. And with all of that being said, happy financing.